Up to your old Excalibur tricks again, eh, Centauri? Did it ever occur to you that it's against the law to recruit from worlds outside the Star League?
Earth's in danger too, isn't it? And no, I did not use the Excalibur test. It was called a video game. But what's all the brouhaha? After all, he does have the gift.
This may come as a bit of a shock to you. But he doesn't want to be a starfighter.
Doesn't want to be a... Are you a coward? Are you crazy?
You didn't tell me about any of this.
Return the money, Centauri.
Return the money? Are you delirious? You know how long it took to invent the games, to merchandise them, to get them into the stores by Christmas?
It must be terribly embarrassing for you, and I do sympathize. However...
But I saw him fight. He could be the greatest starfighter ever.
That was a game, Centauri.
A game? You may have thought it was a game, but it was also a test. Aha! A test sent out across the universe to find those with the gift to be starfighters. And here you are, my boy. Here you are.
Right, here I am, about to be killed.
Killed. You don't seriously think it's dangerous, do you? Don't be silly. Trust me.
You're listening to Foundations for Founders, a podcast about startups and life and everything in between. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Foundations for Founders. I'm Dan in Post Falls.
I am Angel in Seattle.
Yeah, so hey man, how you been? It's been a bit of a break.
It has been a bit of a break. I'm doing okay. Not doing too bad. Lots of thises and that's, as it were.
Right on.
Otherwise, not too much, man. How about yourself? You recovering well?
I'm recovering well. I guess we should let people know what happened.
Yeah.
So we were off for about 2 weeks, and that was not by design. We did record a show 2 weeks ago. It got eaten by the internet trolls. The file corrupted, and we could not release a show.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next week, we'd planned to do a show, and we ended up having a board meeting that ran way too long, and so it was Betty time before show time. So
I'm not sure who Betty is, but
sleepy time.
I gotcha.
Sleepy time.
Yeah, the interview we did, the show that we lost was an interview that we did, and that was kind of a bummer. So hopefully we can have our guest back on.
Well, we can. I talked to him. He's cool about being back on, so we will get him back on. Tim Nichols, for sure. And he's got a great podcast, Brewing Business, and it's really cool, especially if you're into the craft beer microbrew scene. So definitely check that out. But yeah, like you said, man, I'm recovering. Had wisdom teeth removed on Friday. It is now Sunday. Feeling really woozy and drugged up.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Had to have my lower right-hand side wisdom tooth removed and my upper left-hand side removed. So opposite sides of my jaw.
Just two, huh?
Just two.
Yeah.
I only have 3 total, or had 3. Now I just have 1. But that other one really isn't causing an issue, so they said just leave it in. So I said okay. But yeah, so I'm on hydrocodone. Actually, this is my first day off of it, which is really nice. Yesterday was a giant haze of a lot of Netflix shows and yelling at my dog to get off of me.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah, I recently started going to the gym once again, and I was trying to take it like slow and steady as she goes kind of thing.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And man, am I out of shape. Oh, it is brutal. So I'm 5 days on and 2 days off, so I'm taking the weekend to myself kind of thing. But it's brutal. Like, I'll get home, I'll hop into a hot shower, hop out of the shower, and then it's like, you know what? While I'm still functional before everything stiffens up and I fall over, I'm just going to coat myself with a thin coating of icy hot. And it's
just for that lovely sheen, huh?
Yeah, it's horrid. It's freaking horrid, dude. So I don't know how you do it, but
I haven't really been in a couple weeks, mainly because I had that tooth ache.
Yeah,
it was hurting too bad, so I was told to not work out for 3 days, so that includes Monday.
Yeah, you definitely don't want the heart pounding a bunch of blood around and then anything to start, opening up in your mouth. That's horrible.
Yeah, I don't want to have a bloody mouth at the gym. So,
Yeah, that's no good.
yeah, I Sunday I go to the dog park. So I took my dog to the dog park, and man, I felt just woozy standing there. I had to go sit on the bench like an old man for a while.
Yeah.
But it was good to
How's
get
the
him.
weather been up there? Has it been warmer? Has it been colder? What's it like?
It's overcast today, not too bad. Very reminiscent of Seattle.
Yeah.
It started raining just as we left around 4:30, so that's good.
Yeah.
And right now, as we record, which is 7:30 Pacific time, it's nice and sunny. It's fine.
Oh, that's great. It's been raining all day. All day today. It sucks.
Oh, that sucks, man.
I can't do anything. Yeah. It's horrible.
Real quick before I forget, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at the Sharpshooters, or Dust Sharpshooters.
Yeah.
I was on their WrestleMania Roundtable podcast this morning, which has actually already been released. So, about 2.5 hours talking about WrestleMania. Got to plug Haggle Champ, got to plug Foundation for Founders towards the end of it.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, do you remember that conversation we had? I know we recorded it, but I think it made B-roll where we never aired it. But we were talking about some of those love it or hate it groups, with all the new startup ideas and things like that.
Yeah.
It was that meetup.com that we had covered.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
only available in New York, I think in LA and England at the time. It is now national. I actually checked it out this week. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because you can join. There's all kinds of groups. Clearly, the city I live in is quite a bit larger than yours. So there's a niche for everybody.
What are you talking about? Nothing's larger than Post Falls, Idaho.
But it's the second most boring city in America.
Second most boring city in the state of Idaho. Yeah.
Oh, in the state, sure.
Yeah.
Really cool. There's a lot of young entrepreneur groups, and I'm gonna get plugged in with some of those guys. I might get to talk at one of the events about Haggle Champ a little bit. They seem pretty interested in that. And
that's awesome.
neat. So yeah, it turned out to be much more popular than I thought it was. It's still pretty new, but check it out. It's kind of cool. You might find some interesting stuff over in your neck of the woods.
Sure.
I assume it's probably just gonna be the Spokane area for you, maybe Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, but
yeah, maybe, or maybe I'll just come out there one of these days.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. But yeah, it's been kind of fun to check that out. And of course, there's groups for everything. I'm new in town. I'm single in my 30s. I'm single and in my 40s. I'm a nightlife person.
I like Bigfoot.
Yeah, outdoors. Exactly.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. Whatever. So.
Which would be us.
Sure.
Right.
One day we'll release the mockumentary we filmed almost 10 years ago.
Almost 10, yeah.
Yeah, we're almost the 10th year anniversary of that.
Yeah, wow.
We went to the Blue Mountains of Eastern Oregon to try and locate Sasquatch.
We did. We ended up finding crazy people.
Yeah, butterfly nets is all we came equipped with,
and box wine.
And box wine, factually correct.
Yes.
So, yeah, good times. But I know you're recovering. You wanted to kind of keep it short.
Yeah. I just want to keep a short show today, so we're just going to do stories.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of feeling a little groggy and woozy.
Topic, which, we got to get another discussion topic on. It's been too long for the nation.
For sure. We will.
Yeah.
Just once I'm filling up for it.
And tweet at us. You can tweet at us, FFF_nation. You can email us some ideas, topics, concerns. If you have something to say, go ahead and say it. You can email us at foundationsforfounders@gmail.com.
So, all right. So let's get into the stories. Our first story today comes from Science 2.0 or Science20.com.
Okay.
And the headline reads, "The ugly food movement is winning friends."
Sure.
And basically in Europe and in Australia, there's a growing trend to make ugly food acceptable. So basically what they're saying is they want to market your oddly shaped, misshapen fruits and vegetables because they're saying that taste is often better than beauty, is what they're saying. So it's kind of interesting. The picture they have on it looks like a giant wart to me, but it's some sort of squash that's just horrendous looking, but I'm sure if you cut it up inside, it's pretty delicious. So that's what they're doing, and they're refusing to use the word ugly. They've often used inglorious or wonky or odd bunch campaign.
Sure.
The other popular one is the imperfect pics.
Well, so like what is this? Like this is a really creative cloak and daggers, misdirection, smoke and mirrors to get bad fruit and vegetables to be
It's just
purchased by.
misshapen. It's just like,
Yeah,
we,
but I'd assume they're being rejected at the quality assurance line of whoever's sending these vegetables to the
it's not
grocery
so much
stores,
quality
right?
assurance. It's just they look weird.
Well, but why aren't they being sold now? It's because somebody says, no, this looks weird.
They usually
me-
sell that
give
kind of
me
stuff in like organic food stores, all the
A
weird
regular
looking stuff.
size squash.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems to me like it's a cute way of creating a market for something that has zero demand. I mean, there's a few diamond people, and we'll get to a similar story on this in a little bit. But there's a few diamond people out there that had a grip of bad diamonds that were just miscolored. They were poorly colored, and so they created a demand for it by selling champagne diamonds. You remember that in the early 2000s? Everything.
Oh
was
yeah. Yeah, it's
It-
just marketing.
There's nothing to it except for we got to offload all these bad diamonds somehow, and they created demand for it. That to me, that's kind of what this seems like when I read it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. A vegetable's a vegetable. Like food should be, tasty, even if it looks kind of weird. I kind of get behind that. But like, why is this an issue now? It's because somebody can't offload these, right? It has to be.
It's got to be that. It says they're selling 1.2 tons of misshapen fruit and vegetables in just 2 days because of this campaign. So 1.2 tons is a lot,
That's a lot of food that previously wasn't being shipped out to grocery stores, and this is affecting, you said, Australia and where else?
In Europe.
Oh, and Europe. So
Yeah, grocery stores across the EU.
I would think that grocery stores were prior to this just being like, nah, I'm not going to sell that, so I don't want it, right? Like, I don't know. It sounds like it's a business impact. I mean, 1.2 tons of food, you said? How much is that in euros or what have you? Do they give any of that in the story?
No, they just say 1.2 tons of food.
Uh-huh.
Millions of dollars in extra revenue by this.
Yeah.
The cost of food waste being as high as 400 billion a year in the United States.
Well, that stands to reason. I mean, we waste a lot here.
Yeah, we do.
But
So I think having the
so
misshapen food and going for what do they call it? Taste not waste
sure.
is the new campaign. Whatever. Like it's
European
fine.
Year Against Food Waste and the EU's scrapping of rules that prevented the sale of oddly sized or misshapen fruit and vegetables. So it was a quality assurance violation prior to this big campaign.
I suppose so. I guess when I think of quality, I think of food that's like it
Not
will make you
spoiled.
sick.
Right, not spoiled food, sure.
Right. So to me, it's not quality as much as it just looks weird.
But would you eat that?
The thing in the picture,
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna be honest and be like, it doesn't look appetizing.
See? There you go.
But what if you don't eat the rind and the inside is actually really good?
Right, but I mean, I'm just saying, pound for pound, you had that squash, and then you had regular old squash. You're probably gonna
That squash looks like the thing that becomes Gremlin,
Exactly. I don't think I would
or
buy
like
it.
the alien facehugger thing.
Look,
That's the pod it comes out of.
Point is, I'm glad they're doing something, right? Because that's kind of neat, and there's less waste, and they're able to pick up, 1.2 tons of food that's being shipped out because of it and stuff. And it's cool that people are getting on board because, less waste is great. Me, wouldn't buy it.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
I've had some misshapen food before, but it's not the
I
best
think
and it's
we all
not the
have.
worst.
I'm just being snooty. I'll just admit it. You heard it here first. I would not buy that squash because I'm snooty.
You can totally be snooty. Are we ready for the next story?
I don't know. Are you gonna make a vegan comment?
No, I'm not.
All right, moving
what?
on. Ready for the
You
next
keep
one.
bringing up me being vegan.
Well, it's one of those things.
I didn't bring it up on the WrestleMania roundtable, I'll tell you that.
Well, of course not. Of course not. You reserve all of your vegan soapboxing for the Founder Nation.
That's right. Yeah. You poor people. All right, so the next story comes from Fortune.com.
Sure.
And it reads, Tang is Bacardi's newest drink, and it's distilled from green tea leaves.
So this is not the powdered Tang that we were used to drinking as kids.
No, this is not the same Tang, although I imagine if you mix Tang with Tang, could probably be all right.
Or
The rum
it would
maker
just
has
explode, one or the other.
probably.
Yeah.
The rum maker has figured out a way to make an alcoholic beverage distilled entirely from from tea leaves.
Yeah.
Basically, what they do is they distill the teas and blend it with water, and that makes the alcoholic beverage they now call Tang.
Yeah.
The Tang is being sold at duty-free shops in Hong Kong, retailing for about $260 per half-liter bottle.
That's an awful lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If they sold it in Seattle, for sure there would be a market for it.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure people would pay that to try. Oh, well, it's green tea. You know,
it doesn't make it healthy.
No, but it coexists with my diet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I've had the green tea ice cream. I've had the green tea Kit Kats. All delicious. I don't like alcohol, so the green tea Bacardi does not entice me, the Tang.
Yeah, maybe not so much me either. I do drink, but I'm not a drinker, I guess. I really don't drink that often, but
Mhm.
I don't see much of a big appeal to this, probably because of the high price tag and the fact that, you know, I don't really drink spirits that much, to be honest. Like, I enjoy beers and things, but if I did, it would typically be a vodka-based drink of some kind, not really a rum-based drink.
Mhm.
But it's cool because it's breakthrough, right? They're the first guys to actually make this work with green tea leaves, right? They said
Right.
they're adding water, they're distilling from green tea leaves. You know, for whatever industry this falls in this case, alcohol sales, whatever, I think the science behind it is kind of cool because at least this article in Fortune states several other alcohol manufacturers have been chasing this recipe for a long time, and they were the first ones to get there. So
Right. And they're only making 2,000 bottles for this first run, and they plan to go global with it in 3 to 5 years. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. So why test market in China? I mean, I guess that's probably would be based on population, the largest market of sales for anything.
I would say for tea.
Well, and so alcohol, I assume, would not be that far of a stretch to say it's sold more there as well. Tea, for sure, I would agree with that.
So I think they're
I have no facts to support that other than my own gut reaction, but
right, all the tea in China.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm just guessing they think, okay, this might be a good market to start because they love their tea there, and there we go. You know.
Well, that's kind of cool. So, any business impact on this one here?
You know, it's just a new product.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, when I look at the picture of it, I kind of think of Pepsi Clear. You know?
Really? I don't know, man. Like this picture, I think it's the texture of the bottle. Like there's that lattice work that's in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of off center. But for like the first minute I was staring at it, I thought it was like frozen, or it was like there was something frozen in it, and I was like, that doesn't stand to reason if it's alcohol. But I don't know, man. It looks like fancy water to me.
It does look like fancy water now that you've said that.
It's fancy water.
It's fancy water.
That'll get you drunk.
It will. It will. With green tea and all.
Yeah. Why not? So, who else? Any protesters? Anyone pissed about this?
No, not really. They're just saying it's a new thing, and whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I see some. Oh, these are all just. God, I hate these web links.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, well, now it's Fireball is mad about this from Jägermeister. I don't care.
All right. Well, let's go to our last story, which comes to us from Forbes.com.
Yeah. Sure.
And the headline reads, Graph Diamonds unveils a $40 million diamond convertible watch.
Yeah.
And basically, they have created the most blingingest watch ever.
This is over the top.
This is way over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Fascination, which consists of 152.96 carats of white diamond with a center fancy cut, exquisitely rare stone that is 38.13 carat D flawless pear-shaped diamond. Right.
Now, I have years and years and years of experience appraising diamonds. This is a lesser-known fact.
Right.
You probably have no idea what that scales to. Like 38.13 carats, period?
I have no idea.
A flawless pair. Like, try and pull that up on Google and see if there's like a size comparison. Just size of a 40 karat diamond. Huge, right? But I love the way, while you're doing that, I love the way they sell this, because like, it starts this article anyway. It says, if you're spending approximately $40 million on a watch, you may want it to do more than just tell the time. Sure.
Oh, wow, 40 carats huge.
Yes, sir. Like, to give you some perspective, link me the comparison there. I want to see what it's, because I've gone to gem shows before. I've done thousands of diamond appraisals and things, worked with jewelers and pawn shops over the years and all kinds of different stuff. That's a lot, man. That is huge. And to get something flawless, I mean, that's not, when I read the size, because the scale of this photograph does no justice to this piece, and it is very exquisite. I mean, it's clearly how can I put this mildly? My dad can beat up your dad kind of market for this.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
or my dad
Like,
could
just,
buy your dad.
You can have this just to have this
Right.
kind of thing. But when I read 38.13, it's like, yeah, that's a lot. And to get a rock that size flawless and certified as such is a hell of a thing, because diamonds are inherently flawed, and the naked eye can pick up only so much before machines get involved and things like that. But besides clarity, you can cut some of the flaws out of them, which is why some are different shapes
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. The color and things like that. Flawless pear shape in nearly 40 karat size is insane. What was the photograph you were looking at? Do you have a link for that?
There was a few of them. They weren't accurate. Like, they had one, a
Uh-huh.
diamond next to a quarter. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Big stuff.
it didn't
Yeah.
say that was 40 carats. I'm looking at size charts right now to give the viewer or listener an idea. 7-carat diamond is 12.4 millimeters. So 40 is, easily almost 5 times that. Yeah, an 8-carat is 13 millimeters. So, like, it's off the charts of how large this is. I can't even find the proper.
It's kind of insane that that, because they're interviewing this guy, and kudos to Graf for going so over the top. Like, this is kind of cool, because whatever, it's unattainable and for me, and I'll never see something like that outside of a gem show.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it says the Fascination is an outstanding piece, carefully crafted so it could be worn in a number of different ways. Magic tools, craft. The only question one really has to wrestle with here is whether or not to wear it as a watch or a ring. Tough call when the value is $40 million. So put that into perspective for a second, right? Like, let's say you do own this piece of jewelry.
Right.
When do you don this piece of jewelry? When do you wear it? At what event are you not worried about? Take the car and the house, just don't touch the jewelry.
Yeah, no
right?
kidding.
Like, that's it. Like, what kind of event? That's the first thing that comes to my mind, outside of, like, I think you'd still have to be watched if you were attending a dinner at the White House in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you wear this? It's not on the red carpet. It's not around the paparazzi. Like, what occasion would you think of you could actually wear this on?
I would think like some sort of fashion show where there's an audience in front of you to make sure nobody steals it.
That's exactly right. You know where I think
Where?
I would wear it? Where there is nobody else around, and that's sad.
Just put it on
sad.
a
But I
live
don't
stream.
think-
Hey, look what I got.
Yeah, check this out, and then try and mask the IP and make sure no one can figure out, where you're at. And so, I mean, whatever. This is so over the top and impractical. It's cool, I think, because hey, jewelers don't do over the top crap like this because it doesn't sell. It's a waste of an incredible amount of time and planning, and it should belong in a museum and things like that. I mean, this one's not that big, but like the Hope
Right.
and stuff. But listener, check out the pictures in the story. It's kind of neat. I mean, I'm a fan of the human imagination in this article. I really am. But practically speaking, $40 million on your wrist or your hand.
Man, and I thought the Apple Watch at $10,000 was too much.
It's $10,000.
The
for
top
that
end
thing?
one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
Why not? That's like a car.
It's a really good down payment on a new car.
Yeah, it's the entirety of a brand new
It's some people's down
motorcycle.
payment on a house.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's insane.
it is insane.
I don't know. But we promise we're sorry this is so late and we've had so much going on, but we promise we will have a great discussion topic. We might even have a guest.
We're gonna try.
Yep, we had another story.
It was stupid.
We tossed it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into what that was.
It's because I'm on medications. I didn't have my
man.
discerning judgment. Yeah.
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 That's okay though. That's okay. So I am gonna let you get back to the healing process, my friend. I'm glad you're up and about, even for a limited amount of time. Again, we want to do a shout out to DA Sharpshooters. They are friends of
Absolutely.
our podcast. And yeah, man, I didn't know ahead of time that you were gonna be on the show, so I'll have to listen in. And
Yeah, it's a last minute thing, but it was fun. I had a blast just going over the WrestleMania card, who we think's gonna win, that kind of stuff. You know, all the stuff I like that nobody else likes. Yeah.
Right on. Well, yeah, man, that's probably gonna tie it up for me. I really don't have a
No, I
whole
don't
heck
think
of a
so.
lot. I just want to wish you the best of health.
Yeah, thanks, man. I guess just say real quick how people can get a hold of us. The Twitter, the Gmail, and my personal Twitter is @Dan_Reyes.
I am @AngelAspects21. Of course, you can call into the podcast at 1-8. No, I'm just kidding. Not yet, but we're gonna work on that. And then a couple things are coming down the pipeline for the podcast. We're gonna get a guest or two on. My brother would like to be back on, which would be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's about it. I'll reveal the rest coming up. But I have not forgotten about our bet. And so when you're all healed up, we are going to make that happen. I am still going to do a live YouTube cast. Sure. Spring is on its way, or so they tell me. So we'll work something out.
Sounds good. Well, I'll edit the show and put it on. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Buying a used vehicle can be very stressful, but HaggleChamp.com makes it much easier. At HaggleChamp.com, all you have to do is tell us what make, model, and year that you're after, and we'll alert our dealer network. Our dealers will give you their offer, and you can declare your #1 contender. That's the offer you like the best so far. This then re-notifies the dealer network and encourages them to give you an even better deal. It's free to use, so head over to HaggleChamp.com. That's HaggleChamp.com.